Sairam children, welcome back to the session. Today we are going to revise lesson number 7, the coastal plains and islands. So children, in the previous class we had revised lesson number 6, the southern plateau, isn't it? So in that southern plateau we saw it covers most of the Indian peninsula and it is surrounded by narrow coastal plains on eastern and western sides. So children, now we will see where the western coastal plain and the eastern coastal plain lie. Just look at the map. On the west, between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea is the western coastal plain. On the east, between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal is the eastern coastal plains. So these plains meet at Kanniyakumari, which is the southernmost tip of the peninsula. That Kanniyakumari is the southernmost tip of the peninsula. And there are also many islands in the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea, like the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Islands. India has an extremely long coastline, so it can use ships to transport large quantities of goods into and out of the country. Ships are loaded and unloaded where? Do you remember children? Ships are loaded and unloaded at ports. So there are a number of ports along the coast in India. Now we'll see the ports in the western coast. On the western coast, Mumbai, Kandla, Kochi and Panaji. And on the eastern coast, Kolkata, Puducherry and Chennai. As you know, India has the long coastal line. So fishing is an important occupation of the people living in coastal area. Now we will see the western coastal plain. Just look at the map. The areas which is shown in pink color is the coastal plain. So just now we saw on the west between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea is the western coastal plain. So now we'll see from where it begins. Just look at the map. It begins from Gujarat and passes through Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala. Okay. And it is divided into how many parts? Do you remember? Yes, it is divided into 3 main parts. Now children, can you tell me what are they? Yes. The Gujarat coast in the north, the Konkan coast in the middle up to Goa, the Malabar coast in the south from Goa to Kanniyakumari. Okay. Next is the eastern coastal plain. And just now we saw where it is located, isn't it? On the east, between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal is the eastern coastal plain. Now we will see from where it begins. So it begins from West Bengal in the north and passes through Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Now children, see both the coastal plains, eastern coastal plains. This is the eastern coastal plain and this is the western coastal plain. Which is wider? Yes, the eastern coastal plains are wider than the western coastal plains. Here see, the northern part of the eastern coastal plains are called northern circus and the southern part is called the Coromandel coast. The islands. The islands in the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal, which are the Indian mainland, they are also a part of India. So there are two groups of islands. What are they? Yes, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Where it is? It is in the Bay of Bengal. The Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea. So this is the picture of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So these are two groups of about 300 islands. How many? About 300 islands were in the Bay of Bengal. The northern islands are known as Andaman Islands. The southern islands are known as Nicobar Islands. They form a union territory and the southernmost part of the islands is called the Indira Point. This is the southernmost tip. It is called the Indira Point. It is also the southernmost part of India. Next is Lakshadweep Islands. So these are a group of 30 islands. Group of 30 islands, only some of which are inhabited. They are close to Malabar coast and they also form a union territory. Many of these islands are made of deposits of the skeletons of an animal called coral. Such islands are called Coral Island. Is it clear? Now we'll see life in the Western Coastal Plains. Our first state is Gujarat. So Gujarat lies in the northwest of India. So children, you all know the capital, isn't it? So its capital is Gandhinagar. What are the main occupation? Yes, trading and farming are the main occupation of the people of the state. What are the main cereal crops? Jowar and bajra are the main cereal crops. And the other crops grown here are sugarcane, cotton, groundnut and tobacco. Now we'll see several well-developed industries in Gujarat like textile, petroleum, fertilizer, salt and diamond cutting industries. The khadi and handloom industry is also well developed. Dairy farming is also an important industry of Gujarat. The famous Amul milk products comes from Anand in Gujarat. So you all drink Amul milk and eat Amul chocolates, Amul milk chocolates, isn't it? So they all come from Anand in Gujarat. What is the main language spoken here? Yes, Gujarati. And what about the dress? Women wear saris and lehengas, and men traditionally wear churidars and short jackets called angrakas with colorful turbans. Ahmedabad, it is the largest city of Gujarat. Gandhiji's Sabarmati Ashram lies in this city. The Gir Forest, which is the home of the Asiatic lion, is an important tourist attraction. So this is the picture of Sabarmati Ashram, and this is a picture of an Asiatic lioness with her cub at the Gir National Park, Gujarat. Next is Maharashtra. So the Konkan coast runs through Maharashtra, and you all know its capital. So Mumbai is the capital of Maharashtra, which lies on the Konkan coast. It is the biggest seaport in India. The seabed of the Konkan has largest deposits of petroleum, and that region is called Bombay High. And regarding its people, dresses and festivals, you had already learned in the previous lesson. Our next state is Goa. So to the south of Maharashtra is the small and beautiful state of Goa. So children, what is its capital? Its capital is Panaji. Goa is rich in iron ore. Mining is an important industry in the state. Festival. Christmas is the main festival in the state. And tourists visit Goa in large numbers every year. Why? Because of its beautiful beaches and churches. The Basilica of Bom Jesus in Panaji is one of the oldest churches in India. It contains the body of Saint Francis Xavier. See, this is the picture of the richly carved interior of the Basilica of Bom Jesus. The beaches of Goa are world famous. Next is Karnataka. Now we'll see where it is located. Just look at the map. As we go south from Goa, along the coast, we come to Karnataka. Mangalore is an important seaport. And regarding the people, dresses and festivals of Karnataka, we had seen in the previous chapter. Next state is Kerala. So what is the capital of Kerala? Yes, Thiruvananthapuram. The capital of Kerala is Thiruvananthapuram, and earlier it was known as Trivandrum. Kochi. Kochi is an important seaport of Kerala. Kerala produces large quantities of spices, coconut, cashew, coffee and rubber. Almost the entire population of Kerala know how to read and write. What is the main language? The main language spoken here is Malayalam. What about the dress? Can you recollect? Yes, men wear lungi. That is called mundu. Men wear lungi, which is called mundu, and shirt. Women wear mundu and blouse are saris. What are the main festivals celebrated? Onam and Vishu are important festivals of Kerala. Boat races, in which long boats called snake boats take part, are held during Onam. The races are a great tourist attraction. What is the traditional dance? Yes, Kathakali is the traditional dance form of Kerala. Kerala has a number of beautiful beaches. The most famous being Kovalam Beach. The lagoons or backwaters of Kerala, the wildlife sanctuary at Periyar, and the famous temples are the other tourist attractions. Next is Lakshadweep Islands. So children, what is the capital? The capital of this union territory is Kavaratti. And which language do they speak? Most people here speak Malayalam. The people use coconut fibers to make a variety of products. It is a major industry. Fishing and tourism are the other important industries here. The beautiful islands and beaches attract many tourists. This is the picture of Lakshadweep Islands. Next is life in the Eastern Coastal Plains. First is Odisha. So as we move along the coast towards the south from West Bengal, we come to Odisha. Formerly it was known as Orissa. Now children, tell me, what is the capital? Yes, Bhubaneswar is its capital. What are the important cities? Puri and Cuttack are the important cities. The delta formed by the Mahanadi river is very fertile. So what is the main crop here? The main crop grown here is rice. Handloom sarees of Odisha, jewelry and decorative items made of silver are very popular. What is the important industry here? Mining is an important industry here. Odia. Odia is the main language spoken here. Odissi. Odissi is the popular dance form. Now we'll see the tourist attractions. Lots of people turn up to see the Rath Yatra of Puri. The temples of Bhubaneswar, Puri and Konark, and the Chilika Lake with its bird sanctuary are the other tourist attraction. Next is Andhra Pradesh. So you all know the capital, and also you have learned about this in the previous chapter about the people. Okay. Visakhapatnam, a city on the coast, is a major port and shipbuilding center. It also has an oil refinery and an iron and steel plant. Next is Tamil Nadu. So what is the capital? Yes, Chennai is the capital of Tamil Nadu, and it lies on the Coromandel coast. It is an important port. The Marina Beach. The Marina Beach in the city is the longest beach in India. The delta formed by the Kaveri river is very fertile. It is called the rice bowl of Tamil Nadu. Kanniyakumari in Tamil Nadu is the southernmost tip of the Indian mainland. Just now we saw, isn't it? The Vivekananda Rock Memorial has been built on a small island near the coast, which is called Vivekananda Rock. Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So children, what is the capital? Okay, the capital of this group of almost 300 islands in the Bay of Bengal is Port Blair. Only a few of the islands are inhabited. Most of these people, they live in forest, in groups or tribes. The Cellular Jail at Port Blair was once used by the British to imprison Indian freedom fighters. It is now a national monument. Fishing is an important occupation. Tourism is an important industry. Why? Because of the beautiful beaches. Coconut and rice are the main agricultural products. Next is Puducherry. As we go south from Chennai along the coast, we come to the Union Territory of Puducherry. Earlier it was known as Pondicherry. It is famous for Aurobindo Ashram. At one time, it was ruled by the French, and the people here speak Tamil and English. Some of them also speak French. So children, next is words to remember, which is given at the end of the lesson. So you have to go through this. Okay. First is port. A place by the sea or a river where ships can be loaded and unloaded. Coral. A small sea creature that lives in large groups. They produce a hard substance that can grow to form islands. Lagoon. An area of seawater that is separated from the sea. Tribe. A large group of related families that live in the same area. So children, with this the chapter comes to an end. So, read the textbook, read the content of the textbook thoroughly. Read the words to remember given in each and every lesson. I'll see you in the next class. Until then, goodbye.